and Joan published the now iconic Chickenheads. Not yet in the 21st century, they began to push toward more expansive ideas of Black womanhood, ones tailor-made for the 21st century. This forward-looking sensibility is the reason that I can still teach this book today and have women who were just toddlers when it was written tell me how thankful they are for a writer from their generation, articulating their needs, feelings, and desires. Chickenheads is important for many reasons. One of them is that in her unapologetic and willful assertion that hip-hop and feminist could and should go together, Joan wove together the Black girls reared and raised on Toni Morrison and Bell Hooks, and Gail Jones and Audre Lorde, and those reared on Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash, Beastie Boys, and Dougie Fresh, choosing to imbue them with a fierce Black girl-tude, as yet unmatched. Chickenheads also stands out among a paltry few memoirs of young Black womanhood, not written in slavery and not written by a celebrity. Seriously, how many memoirs of young Black women in the late 20th or early 21st century can you name or do you teach? Because Joan had the courage to put her whole self on the page, she made space for each and every one of us. And in doing so, she unwittingly created a movement of crunk-ass Black women showing up in the academy, much perhaps to her dismay, challenging professors to let us bring our whole ratchet, working-class, outwardly polished, inwardly jagged, crying, loving, turned-up selves into the room. Because she had courage to see the inherent ways that hip-hop and Black feminist epistemologies showed up in her own sense of Jamaican Bronx girl embodiment, she created a whole new field of study for those of us latter-day Black feminist sistren, those of us like me, raised on Pac and Big, Kim and Foxy, Lauren and Missy. Still, though, this book speaks truth to power for young women who bump Nicki Minaj, Kanye, Drake, Rihanna, and Beyonce. Because she was visionary, young sisters now write doctoral dissertations on hip-hop feminism. There has never been a time in the years since I bought this book that I haven't gone back to it and seen a new thing there that I hadn't seen before. Always, I feel affirmed and reminded that I ain't crazy, because this legacy she left us is full of the sharpest knives, the most piercing bullets, and that kind of soul-hugging, I see you, hear you, feel you love that only a Black girl can give. I have opened this book when I needed to make sense to myself. I have opened this book when yet another Mactivist brother of the chocolate genius boy variety became more disappointment than dream fulfilled. I have opened this book to try to understand my journey to become a writer. I have opened this book to give myself permission to be the feminist I have always been. I don't do hugs. Everyone who knows me knows this. But when I read this book, it feels like I'm sitting simultaneously at the feet of and on the sofa of the big sister I never had but always wanted, wrapped in a warm embrace. So many generations of Black women didn't have these kinds of stories. I know, I looked. So when I read this work, I am reminded of the incomparable gift of being able to sit down and read a book and know that a Black girl who came before us knew what we would need and had enough foresight and generosity to write it in these pages and to leave it here for me, for us, and for all the fierce Black and brown girl geniuses to come. Intro. Dress up. It started with a dress, a hot little thing, a spaghetti-strapped Armani number with a skin-tight bodice and a long flowing skirt, in that shade of orange that Black girls do the most justice. I bought it in La La Land precisely because it reminded me of New York in the 70s, with its sexy sisters, girls with names like Pokey, Nene, Angela, and Robin, and those leotard and dance skirt sets they used to rock back in the day. This was back when I was a shorty with cherries for breasts and absolutely no ass to speak of. I used to sit on our tenement stoop, mesmerized.